Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar 3 today. We are now waiting for other participants to join our webinar. In the meantime, if some of you have not registered for this webinar 3, please make use of the link and the QR code on the screen to complete your registration. And in a few minutes' time, we will be ready to start our third webinar. Thank you. Welcome again to all of you. We're still now waiting for other participants to join us. In just a few minutes' time, we will be starting our webinar 3 today. So please hang around. And for some of you who have not registered yet, please do so, because we like to do that for our database purposes. So thank you, and I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, seems like we mostly have everyone here. Very good morning to you all. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. I'd like to say hello to everyone here. And first of all, please, I would encourage you to turn on your camera so that we could feel some bits of face-to-face interactions, some smile, some eye contact, or some familiar faces that we might have bumped into in one of the teaching conferences in the past. So please, 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 if you feel comfortable with that, can you please turn on your camera so that we could actually have, your face-to-face interaction a bit, and that would be lovely of you as well. Right, so very good morning to you all once again. It is such a great pleasure for me to be here to have this opportunity to welcome all of you to our third webinar today. My name is Lukman Mai. I am a lecturer in English language teaching and also a member of Asia TOEFL webinar series 2021. Today, I'm the MC of the webinar and I'll be with you throughout the whole program. At the moment, as you can see, we have a lot of participants, but I'm so thrilled to let you know that there are more than 1,500 people from 50 countries around the world who registered their interest in coming to this webinar. So this proves how global we are, and we should be proud of ourselves being part of this diverse and vibrant community, which welcomes everyone regardless of who they are and where they come from. And obviously, the topic has brought us together today. It's also special. It's titled Up Close and Personal with Award-Winning Teachers, Transformation Through Passion and Inspiration. And we have 4 speakers who are really dedicated to their language teaching and who are going to talk about their success stories based on their passion and inspiration, which I believe that all of us would like to hear about. But before we go on to that, we'd like to start with the short video clip of Asia TOEFL Professional Network Webinar Series 2021. This is just to show you what we are really doing in practice and why so. So please watch that together.
Of Asia TOEFL has only been through its annual conferences and through its publications in the Journal of Asia TOEFL and through the Asia TOEFL book series. This webinar series will provide greater visibility all the year round to Asia TOEFL.
Asia TOEFL webinar series is a realization of aspiration to meeting together for academic development and promoting friendship despite this pandemic. Professor Ganakumaran Subramaniam has initiated this project and he has put lots of efforts on this. His devotion should be appreciated. I hope that everyone participating in webinar series will get engaged and further stimulated in each webinar.
Wow, thank you very much, the technical team, for playing this inspiring clip. And yes, let's support our professional community together. And next, before we move to other parts of the webinar, I would like to invite Professor Prakasit Sithitikul, the Asia TOEFL Vice President of Conference and Professional Network, who will be giving us a welcome speech and also to tell us more about the benefits of being a member of Asia TOEFL. Please welcome him, our Vice President, Professor Prakasit Sithitikul.
Thank you very
Welcome to
much,
you, Professor.
Lukman. Okay. Greetings from Bangkok, Thailand. Sawadee krap. Dear President of Asia TEFL Committee, guest speakers, participants, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Prakasit Sithitikun from Thailand, acting as the Vice President for Conferences and Professional Networks. I'm responsible for this webinar series project. It's my honor and pleasure on behalf of Asia TEFL and Asia TEFL Professional Network Webinar Series Committee to officially welcome you to our webinar today. I'm glad to inform you that over 1,600 people registered for this webinar today. The main purposes of the webinar series are to provide Asia TEFL members and English language education advocates and practitioners with an opportunity to engage in issues and developments in English language education in Asia and globally. In addition, the webinar series project serves as an avenue to share current and new developments in English language education with members and their regions in the interest of mutual development, technology and knowledge transfer, targeting common sustainable development goals. Today, we are very delighted to have you with us participate and share in our third webinar series with the title Up Close and Personal with Award-Winning Teachers, Transformation Through Passion and Inspiration. Our guest speakers are from 4 different countries. They are all award-winning teachers from Cambodia, Malaysia, Russia, and Thailand. It will be an excellent opportunity to hear and learn from their success stories, which I'm sure will be very interesting and inspiring. Besides the webinar series project, Asia TEFL organizations offers you more than that. If you become a member, I would like to take this opportunity to invite you to be a member of our organization. I'm sure many of you here are already a member, am I right? There are many good reasons to become a member, and you will also gain a lot of benefits. Some benefits include, for example, you will receive, 4 electronic issues annually for the foremost ELT journal in Asia, Journal of Asia TEFL. You will receive discounts of 20% or more on Asia TEFL conference rates, and the privilege of primary consideration for publication in the Journal of Asia TEFL and other Asia TEFL publications, and receive a 20% discount on subscription rates for the print version of the Journal of Asia TEFL. So please don't hesitate to become part of Asia TEFL organization by being a member. The membership fee is very cheap, starting from only $10 per year for individual membership for some countries. But there are many types of membership. You can visit our official website for more information, www.asiatefl.org. We will provide our website information in the chat box, so you can check it there later. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to start the webinar. I feel really appreciative of your participation in our webinar today. I hope that the talks of our speakers will be inspiring to us, and I hope that you will continue to support Asia TEFL in every way possible. Thank you and have a good time.
Thank you so much, Vice President Professor Prakasit Sithitikun, for your warm welcome and further details of Asia TEFL membership. Thank you very much. And yes, if you'd like to know more about our organization, can you please visit our website, www.asiatefl.org. And then you can also email us as well if you are interested in being part of our community. So just a gentle reminder, actually, before we move to the next session, which is the speaker session, I'd like to give you a gentle reminder to those who have not registered for this webinar. This would be part of our database purposes, so it would be really appreciated if you could sign in using the link and the QR code on the in our flyer, also, we can actually send you some details in our chat room. You can actually do that as we like you to do so, but if not, that's okay. And also, in terms of sending questions to our speakers today, if you like to send your questions, if you want to know more about the topic that our speakers have told you or presented to you, so can you please send your questions on online platform called Mentimeter, as you can see on the screen. Please scan the QR code on the screen, or you can make use of the chat room. You know, we are there and pick your questions, and we will have our speakers to answer your question during the Q&A time. So if you can't do that now, you can actually just wait for our speakers to present, and then you can actually leave your question on Mentimeter or in the chat room. Also, I'd like to address a very important issue for everyone here, which I think is quite exciting to tell. We are delighted to tell you that we are providing an e-certificate for everyone who is attending this webinar. To have that, you will need to complete an e-form. We will display a slide at the end of this webinar where you can use the link or scan the QR code to fill in your form. But please don't worry about this now, because I will tell you everything about e-certificates later. At the end of the webinar, I'll be with you, our team will be with you, and we will tell you everything about it. I just want you to enjoy our webinar series first. Now it's time for a speaker session, and I'd like to pass the role to our moderator of the day. So I'd like to give the floor to him, Dr. H.C. Aslam Khan, the moderator of the day. Dr. H.C. Aslam Khan is also an award-winning educationist who received his academic qualifications from the UK and Malaysia. He has received national awards and 5 Excellent Service Awards. He has been involved in all aspects of teacher education programs involving more than 90 countries. He has been a regular invited speaker at various international conferences. Currently, he is Executive Vice Chairman of American Education Group Malaysia, a council member of National Association of Private Education Institution Malaysia, and the Vice President too of Malaysian Education Association. And one special thing about him actually is he can speak and understand 12 languages and dialect, which I wish I could. But more on that later. Let's welcome Dr. H.C. Aslam Khan, the moderator of Webinar 3. Welcome to you, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lukman Mai, for the introduction. I hope all of you can hear me very clearly. Yeah, good.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, and a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone, wherever you are in the world, which I think in more than 50 to 60 countries. And to be honest, it's glad to see very familiar faces again. So, ladies and gentlemen, our theme today is up close, personal with award-winning teachers, transformation through passion and inspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, there is this saying, if you have passion, your passion will guide you in transcending all adversities, in ensuring that you will achieve your dreams. I think everyone agrees with me. Well, that's what we are here today for. Passion and inspiration in transforming the teaching profession. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is something that is very intrinsic. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, education in the pandemic must not stop. It must continue. So, because of that, Asia TEFL Professional Network is continuing the tradition of this line. Education cannot stop. All right? So sit back and relax and enjoy the presentations today. we have invited 4 esteemed award-winning speakers from Cambodia, Russia, Thailand, and Malaysia to share their experiences, success stories, challenges faced, and thoughts pertaining to pedagogy, innovations, initiatives, and other educational endeavors, which will truly inspire all of us to reach greater heights in all our pursuit for excellence in our teaching career. So our webinar today will be divided into 2 rounds. In the first round, each panelist will be given 15 minutes to share their presentations. After all the panelists have completed their presentations, there'll be a question and answer session. Then the webinar will resume with the second round, where each panelist will be given about 3 minutes to share their thoughts in summing up today's theme. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce the first panelist. Mr. Sang Che Dan from Cambodia obtained his academic and professional qualifications in Cambodia. He also received professional training in Thailand, Singapore, and the United States. He started as a teacher and he has been involved and facilitated numerous training programs. He has also been presenting regularly in educational conferences. His current position includes being a language and cross-cultural facilitator with Peace Corps in Cambodia. His major awards include CMO TA Awards and also Fulbright TA Awards. So ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure now to invite Mr. Sang Che Dan. A big round of applause for Mr. Sang Che Dan from Cambodia. Mr. Sang Che Dan, over to you now.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Aslam, for giving me opportunity for sharing my experience and as a teacher, English teacher. Okay, so I would like to share this. Oh, sorry. Okay, everybody, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can hear
I
you.
hear you very clearly, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Because the internet connection is not stable in my area. So, sorry. Something's like, oh. I'm so sorry for inconvenience because I cannot see my. Oh.
Mr. Che Dan, are you okay?
Yeah, I try to find. Okay, yeah, that's okay. I'm so sorry. Okay, first of all, I would like to greet all the participants and the panelists on the webinar number 3, 21st August 2021. So, my name's Chai Dan, Sang Chai Dan. Chai Dan is my first name. So I am an English teacher from Cambodia. So also I would like to say thank you to the Asia TIFO Professional Network Committee for inviting me to be a panelist of the webinar on the theme Up Close and Personal with Award-Winning Teachers, Transformation Through Passion and Inspiration. So the present topic today is teaching experience as an English teacher before COVID-19 pandemics, the challenges and solution. So before starting my topic, I would like to show you my school campus. This is my school. You can see the new buildings. It's just founded by our Prime Minister. It's called Hun Sen Mangkokbarai High School. Yeah, there are 100 teachers and 1,000 students, and 50 kilometers from Thailand. Okay, so before learning my topic, I would like to show you something that caused me to be an English teacher, to be a teacher and English teacher. So, as you know, in general, a teacher is a person who transfers knowledge to students. And in Cambodian context, teacher is called guru. Guru means a model, an example to everyone. So guru or teacher is an engineer who creates the souls of people. Guru or teacher is a doctor.
Sorry, Mr.
Who
Chaiden,
treats.
your
Yes.
slides are moving.
Yes. I'm so sorry, Dr. Aslam.
We are still at slide number 1.
Oh, but in here is moving now, but
on the screen it's not moving. Yes.
oh, sorry. I don't know why, doctor.
Okay.
So
Who would you like me to help? I can share the screen for you.
okay, please, can you share?
Can you stop sharing your screen first?
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Right. And then if you want to move, you just tell me next. I can click the slide
Okay,
for
thank you so much. Thank you for helping me. I'm so sorry for inconvenience because my internet connection is not stable, so it's very hard for me to
No worries.
do
Mr.
online.
Chaiden, no worries. We are always here to assist. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your understanding. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Yes. Okay, this slide. This is my school campus. Yeah, and I will stop here, principal and teaching staff. Okay, can you move to the next one? Yes. Okay. I want to show something about the Cambodian context, like the teacher means in Cambodian context. Like a teacher is an engineer who creates the souls of people. A teacher is a doctor who treats the illiterate people. A teacher is second parent of the students. So at this point, I would like to flash back to my time when I first became a teacher. That time, my salary was only $20 per month, but it was not paid every month because the government owed us. Because our country has just emerged from a civil war for decades. So even though, because of our salary, even though you want to get married, but the local people don't appreciate you, the local people don't allow their daughter to marry you because of your salary. So my friends and my colleagues decided to leave this job and find other one and run business for earning more money. Honestly, I used to think of leaving my job, but my conscience told me not to do that because my country needs me. My country needs an agent of a change. So like John F. Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. This inspired me to continue being a teacher. Even though the local people don't appreciate my job, but I told myself that I made a big sacrifice for the nation or for our educational system, because teacher is a noble job. Teacher can create doctors, teachers can create engineers, teacher can create everything. Everyone comes from teacher. This is a great achievement as a teacher. To me, I have been very successful teacher, a successful person as an English teacher, because I have created successful people in my generation or next generation. Even though most of people define success depending on money or property. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Can you move to the next slide? Okay, so as a teacher, everybody has to challenge, have to encounter any problems that are happening in our classroom. to me, I have a lot of problems connecting to classroom management, connecting to student engagement or instruction, but we have to find out resolution for resolving the problem. So I have chosen some problems that are happening in my classroom. The first one is large and mixed ability class, because in developing countries, there are a lot of students in the class, 40 or 50 students. Students unable to read and write, and students get distracted by social media or games. And the last one, students get demotivated. Okay, thank you. So let's move on to the next slide. So as a teacher, to be a teacher is to be a problem solver. If I just fulfill my obligation or my duty and stay home and go home and sleep and don't care about my students' achievement, that is very easy for me. That is comfortable, and I sleep and then I get money from the government. But I cannot do that. I cannot betray my idealism. I cannot betray my virtue as a teacher. So as a teacher has to be observer. I can observe my student when student get struggle and you know, I fall behind the class. So I just approach them and talk to them individually or one-on-one feedback, talk to them and get to know my student, and just learn from them and something behind the problem. So I just tell them that something strength or weakness of the student, so we can resolve the problem and work together with my student for improving their capacity or help them to learn better. So I offer a lot of extra class or tutoring, and I tutor especially slow learners, you know, for helping them to improve their language skills. And I use another strategy is a heterogeneous grouping strategy. This strategy it is very useful for my class, because in the classwork I assign group work with advanced student and beginner student work together. So advanced student can help beginner student, so they can help each other. So this is the way that I can cultivate the culture of sharing and helping in the society, in class or society. And as a teacher, I cannot teach a student the same thing, the same activity, the same instruction. So I have to discover new interesting activities and bringing into my classroom, because customer or people cannot eat the same food every day. They do something, find something new to interest the student and make our class interesting. Okay, thank you. Can you move to another slide? So for the second solution to the students unable to read and write, you know, in our school is like attracted by the student from poor family and the student from a remote area or you know, where they had no foundation of English. So that is why I have to prepare the lesson that's suitable with my students' level. So I decide not to teach book. I teach my students. So I don't follow syllabus. I don't follow syllabus at all. So I have to talk to my principal that I cannot follow the syllabus because my students' level in here. So if I finish my syllabus, but student will learn nothing. So I don't care about syllabus. I have to care about my students' achievement. So I continue offer tutoring to my students all the time, even though they need me to be their tutor, to be their mentor or coach. Okay, thank you. So can you move on to another slide? Yes. Okay, for a solution to distracted students, you have known that every day, like students are addicted to Facebook, but not Facebook, TikTok, or games. They play games all the time. So that is very hard for students to change them, to educate them. But in my strategy, I have to set up classroom rules. Students with me and work together to set the classroom rules for not allowing to bring smartphones to the classroom. If they don't obey the rules, they will be punished. But this is just malpunishment, not physical punishment, because we can force them to clean the classroom, clean the toilet, clean the bathroom. But this is our malpunishment that we have practiced for the student, the disobedient student, you know, for bringing smartphone into the classroom. And we talk to the students' parents about their children performance or achievement, that they do like this or like that. So push the parents to cooperate with school or teacher to help their children to improve educational system in Cambodia. Okay, thank you. Sir, can you move on to the next slide? Because my time is limited. Okay, so for the motivated students, so in here, many factors that demotivated students from learning English. You know, the main problem is that even though English is a communicative language and the use in ASEAN community, this is the government that introduced English as the communicative language in ASEAN, but English scores are not included in examination, in national examination. So students, when they start in grade 12, they stop learning English. They abandon English because of they take more time to study other subjects because those subjects whose scores are included in national examination. So fortunately, I had opportunity to talk with the official of Ministry of Education, talk about, you know, and English course should be included in the national examination. One more problem: textbook in Cambodia haven't been updated yet. It is very boring that both teacher and student get bored when open the books because it is the same activity, the same words and something like that. So, but for me, my strategy is that sometimes I don't follow all the time with the books or textbooks from the ministry, but I create my own lesson. You know, I find more information from internet and then I prepare a lesson for my student for attract my students. Okay, and then for another problem is that, you know, the community is poor because some family have to go to work outside the countries or capital city to earn money for feeding the family, for supporting the family. So they leave the children alone. They leave the children, you know, to stay with grandparents or elderly parents. So this is not difficult. This is not easy for controlling their children. So the children, you know, no feeling, or the children lack the motivation for learning. So sometimes they skip class, they skip school. So it is difficult for our resolution that we can talk to parents because we cannot contact the parents because the parents have to go to outside the country to work. So we cannot. So I think this solution doesn't work well because of family, you know. Okay, thank you. So can you move to another slide? You know, this is the continuous professional development as a teacher. You know, as a teacher, I never feel I have enough knowledge. If I feel like that, I cannot upgrade my English skills. I cannot improve my teaching methods. So I cannot improve everything because I feel enough, you know. So keep learning. I never say too old to learn because we learn until life. We have a lifelong learning. So as a teacher, it seems like you are standing in the middle of the flowing stream. If you don't step forward, it means that you step backward because the education right now is competitive. It's not in the country, but in the community, in the region as well.
Sure.
So,
Mr. Changden, you have another 1 minute.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I just go faster. So this is why I have sought the opportunity for my scholarships. So fortunately, I won the scholarship to study in the United States. And in 2017 and 2018, I participated in the workshop, a Tea Alumni workshop in Thailand, prepared by U.S. Embassy in Thailand. And 2020, during COVID-19 in China, I won another scholarship award for studying in Singapore, prepared by CMEO. So another strategy that I have to upgrade myself to improve my English class, do self-reflection. After class, I have to do self-reflection every day because we need to improve myself. We need to improve educational system, or our number one goal is students. And lesson study is very popular in some developed or developing country, that we have to work together with my colleagues, and we have to do peer observation. We have to observe each other teaching, and then we support, we sharing idea or correcting mistakes, or giving feedback, or share some activities that they can be useful in the classroom. So this is a strategy that I keep learning. This is called continuous professional development.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, Mr. Chandan, I have to stop there. I'm sorry. We'll continue in the second round for you, yeah?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Chandan, thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think Mr. Chandan has given a very important point there. That is, he says that I cannot leave my students on their own. I need to resolve their issues. So that point is very, very crucial for us as a teacher. So his presentation is so passionate. So he is a very passionate teacher. So thank you, Mr. Sangdan. We'll come back.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, our second panelist is Miss Alina Moskeva from Russia. She obtained her academic and professional qualifications in Russia. She is involved in various educational initiatives, which include being the creator, trainer, and educator of education projects, a certified National Geographic educator. She's a Flipgrid certified educator, Microsoft trainer, an educator, expert, and one of the 5 global learning mentors in Russia. She's also a speaker at national and international education conferences. Her awards include the iTeacher National Award, the iInnovational International Award, and the TechPill Challenge 2019 Award. Currently, she teaches English at Lyceum 33, Ivanovo City, Russia. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure to call upon Miss Alina Moskeva from Russia. So, Miss Alina.
Okay, hello. Nice to see you and nice to meet you here during the conference. It's true that my name is Alina and I am from Russia. And I want to tell you that my country is not only the biggest one in the world, but also one of the most hospitable countries in the world. And even now, in the period of new normals, we invite many nationalities to our country, especially teachers and students. Of course, having some special health norms, having some special health security. But anyway, here in Russia, where we have different sites, where we have natural zones, where we have time zones, we are ready to meet everyone and to make your staying here comfortable, and not only to show you the diversity of our country, but also to teach you something, to know our culture, to know our traditions, and so on. Let me share my screen. Well, I'm trying, but yeah, okay. Can you see? Well, just let me know if you can see. Well, here there is the information about myself, and as Mr. Khan said, I am a teacher of English, and I work at Lyceum number 33 in Ivanovo, Russia, and I have been teaching more than 20 years. I have some special status in teaching, like Microsoft expert, and 4 years ago when I started collaborating with Microsoft, I understand I am not only a teacher of my country, I am not only a teacher for my students, I am really a global learning mentor. I can connect with teachers around the world. I can give them some knowledge and I can help them. For me, the motto, sharing means caring, or caring means sharing, is the most important. And I try to teach my students to share. If they know something, if they have something, if they do something, they need to share with other people around the world. Flipgrid also helps me to connect the teachers and the students around the world. And of course, professional development is very important because it broadens and it changes our mind. And education exchange of Microsoft, which was nowadays online, it also helps me to change some special strategies in my teaching. I want to tell you that, of course, as many teachers around the world, as many people around the world, I had and even I have some challenges at school due to COVID. And when the first wave of COVID began in our country, we had some problems with computers. Many students in our country had some problems with internet connection. Of course, we were not ready for online, for remote learning, and we needed some special platforms for schooling. Of course, my students did not suffer so much because since 2017 we had the Skype connections, we knew how to do that, and we communicated around the world. But for most of them, we had these problems. Many students, even in our country, can't regulate themselves, and not all students are motivated. Though I work at one of the best schools in Ivanovo, our school, our Lyceum, is ranked in top 100 and top 500 best schools of Russia. We have some students who don't want to study, who have some family problems, and so on. Also, teachers in our country must work with parents' worries. Not only the worries about COVID, not only the worries about computers or something like that. We know that parents love their children and also try to do the best for them. And sometimes teachers must understand, and the teachers must listen to them very carefully and understand what to say, how to care about them, maybe to make some special events for parents, and so on. Of course, teachers in every country work a lot, and due to COVID-19, they were stressful more, and we understand this problem. And when we speak about teachers, my special goal is care about them and try to support them, try to give them some special things, some special ideas, how to develop something, how to work with their children, how to collaborate with the whole world. Because when we connect with other teachers, we can make some special projects together. Projects in our life are always important. All our life is a project, and it depends on us how we will do this project. I can say that in 2019, in 2080, many of Russian teachers have some problems with ICT experience. IT was not very developed in our country, and of course I had to help many teachers how to use Skype, how to use Zoom, what to do together to change the situation at schools, at community, local communities, I mean, and how involve teachers and students in international collaboration. It takes time, but anyway, I'm very happy that there are some special things which can help me. The impact of the United Nations in my teaching experience at my school is great. First of all, in Russia, not very often and not very much the sustainable development goals are discussed, especially at school. And I suppose it's a serious problem because all the sustainable development goals are interdisciplinary and we can use them daily. Well, I am lucky because my administration, my director at school can hear me well, and we were even the winners, my school, my students, were the winners of one of the contests of the United Nations in Russia, and this contest was connected with sustainable development goals. I suppose it's great that we can connect and we can use these goals and use the projects which are connected with these goals with many teachers around the world. And one of our projects, I will tell about it later, it was ranked like in top 100 best project about sustainable development goals in 2020 in the world. So it's also, I suppose, very important for my students. Well, the main goal of education for students, I mean, of course, it's self-actualization of students' personality, his preparation for the future life. And it is very important for students to help them, to support them, to motivate them, and to show them the example. The harmony of the family and the world is one of the most important problems which can be solved at school. If you, I mean, like a teacher, if you connect, if you unite teachers, parents, partners, so if you make your school like the place of the society, the community, where everyone is happy, where everyone wants to come, where everyone wants to create something, it's perfect. Environmental protection is also very important, and my students take part with me in many special projects, how to clean the nature, how to save the planet, and so on. Educational projects and education for the students is more important, and I don't like the idea that most of my students go to other cities to study after school. So Ivanovo is not a big place, and of course Moscow, St. Petersburg is more important for students. They understand that they have more opportunities there. I try to develop a person. Of course, we take part in many volunteering actions and collaboration. I suppose that 4C, communication, critical thinking, collaboration, and creativity are the most important. I told you about our project, which is ranked in top 100 best projects in Russia, and this project is about peace. The 21st of September is Peace Day, and we invite everyone to join us. We even have the letter from Buckingham Palace, and the 17 countries already have joined our project. More than 200 schools around the world joined us, and it is very nice for us, and it is very important for my students if students from different countries join them. Creativity. One of the projects we took part was the Planet Earth World Book. We were, I mean, let's say on number 33, we were the only school from Russia to take part in this project. And of course, we were very honored to take part, to have the pages with Russia, with the Russian sites, with the Russian traditions, and so on. And this project helps us, and we created another project, the Book of Russia. Last year, we started this project, and many regions of Russia took part in this project. This year, we will continue, and it's great. You can be the part of global community, you can be the part of local community. School is the center of the society. I told you about it, and one of the projects we were involved in, it was Russian project when we tried to redecorate my classroom. We take part in mystery Skypes, and we connect with many classrooms around the world. And the main problem for me, for my students, was that many teachers, many students understood we are from Russia or we are from the Ukraine. It doesn't matter. And we wanted to make a perfect classroom. We could find some special partners, and it was my classroom before, and now Rybakov Fund, it's a special organization in Russia. They redecorated the classroom with my students, my teachers, my parents. We worked together to make it a perfect place. Nowadays, it's a modern classroom, the best one in my lyceum, the best one in my region, I suppose the best one in my country. I think it's very important to be a professional person. It does not matter if you are a teacher or if you are not a teacher or you have another kind of job. Peace begins with you. And the teacher is a change maker. It's very important. And it's really true that nowadays we have many functions. I mean, teachers. We have many special skills. We must motivate, we must support, we must organize to show how to follow themselves and so on. And international projects and events help me. Here you can see one of the projects with peace, and we send letters, we have a scene in marathons and so on. It helps my students to be creative. It helps my students to be in the world, the part of the global community. And of course, it's also great to be the part of the global community for teachers. It's great that nowadays I can see many teachers around the world. I can use their ideas and share my ideas. Usually I take part in different events, teaching events almost every day. And today it's a great honor for me to be with you and to show you my experience. But I told you that teacher is example to follow. It's really true. My achievements, it's also the same that the achievements of my students. And when I lose, my students suffer. When I win, my students are happy. So I am trying not only for myself, I am trying for school, for education, for my life, for life of my students. And I want to tell you that it's really challenging to have many different activities as a teacher. Summer schools for teachers, like-minded people, post-crossing, blogging, different conferences, they make me happy. Really, when I meet like-minded people, I feel myself full. I feel myself full of experience and full of happiness. Sharing means
Elena,
caring.
you have another 1.5
Yeah.
minutes.
I'm finishing, okay? But caring means sharing also. We must share. My proud is my students, and my students made me take part in the Global Prize Teacher Contest. This year, I am a member of the Global Teacher Prize Contest, and I dream about one thing, to have a school for everyone, for all kinds of children, for all kinds of parents, and for all nationalities. Here you can see my contacts. If you have something to ask, you are welcome.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Elena. Yeah, sorry to interrupt your presentation towards the end. No worries, we have the second round coming. All right, there's something there that's interesting that you have highlighted. The pandemic is not a deterrent. That's a fantastic point there. And the pandemic has provided greater opportunities for innovations to happen in our teaching and learning. So fantastic. So that is a key point there for us to really instill in ourselves as a teacher, as an educator, as an educationist. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you again to Miss Alina Maskeva from Russia. We'll see you in the second round. And the third speaker, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Damkeng Mongtanya, all the way from Thailand. He received his degree from Chulalongkorn University and currently pursuing his MA TESOL at Portland State University in the US on the Fulbright Scholarship. He's involved in various innovative English language education programs in Thailand. He's involved in, he has presented in national and international conferences. His interests include students' motivation, new teaching methods, and creating inclusive learning opportunities for students. Some of his awards are: 1, a letter of appreciation from His Majesty King Maha Vajiralongkorn of Thailand, from the King. And secondly, Hero Obek from the Office of Basic Education Commission Thailand. And the third one, Role Model Persons with Disabilities Plate from Ministry of Social Development and Human Security. Currently, he's a teacher, English teacher at Satri Si Suryayothai School in Bangkok, Thailand. Ladies and gentlemen, it's truly a pleasure to call upon our third speaker, Mr. Damkeng Mongtanya from Thailand.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, thank you for this great opportunity. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Before we start, I would like all of you to imagine a bit. If you were a high school student and you were told that your new English teacher is blind, how would you feel? Well, you don't need to respond to my question right now. Just listen to my teaching journey today, and let's see whether your thought will remain the same. I studied my primary school at Bangkok School for the Blind, and then I got a scholarship to study in a mainstream education at St. Gabriel College. I think my inspiration to become an English teacher began there. I once had a chance to explain some English lesson to my junior friend, and at that time, he understood what I had explained. And what I felt at that time was the feeling of proud. I was proud that my knowledge was useful to others. So that really inspired me to decide to take the test and studied my bachelor degree at the Faculty of Education, Chulalongkorn University. But as you know, in my 5th year, I need to teach in secondary school, but most of the schools in Thailand, there is no blind school. So it means that I need to teach sighted students, but I haven't taught them before. So my goal at that time was not only to be able to teach them, but to teach them effectively. So I think one best way is to start from myself. I need to make myself be confident. First, this was done by teaching my junior friends and sometimes my cousin so that I know which areas I need to improve. And then I learned how to make some PowerPoint presentation from one blind professor at Ratchasudha University, which I got really useful techniques. I also searched for various activities and techniques so that I had something ready for during the time when I become an English teacher. I was a student trainee teacher at two different schools. One was Chulalongkorn University Demonstration School, and the other was Satri Sri Suryothai School. From teaching these two schools, I learned an importance of context. This means that whenever we go to any school, we need to adjust our teaching to suit the context of the students. I learned a lot, especially in terms of student diversities and in their English proficiency. Some of them could not read well, so I decided to teach them. Actually, there were many times when things did not go as expected, when students did not listen to me at all, when I could not control the class. Actually, I felt upset with that. But I realized that only feeling upset does not help students learn. So I decided to change, to find more activities, find more games sometimes to engage students. And one thing I did is to teach them outside classes, help them read. And I was really happy to see them grow, to see them develop. After my teaching practicum, I also received an excellent teaching award from the Faculty of Education Chulalongkorn University. And I graduated my bachelor degree with the first class honor gold medal, which made me really proud and confident enough so that I decided to take a government teacher test, and I was able to come back to Sri Sri Suryothai School as a real teacher. However, being a real teacher is different from being a student trainee teacher. So it is no surprise why I faced a lot of doubts about my ability. Well, what I did was not to argue with those who doubted me, but to show them what I could do. So I decided to list some of the challenges I may face and some solutions that I can use to handle each situation. Let's talk about teaching preparation. As you know, as I'm visually impaired, I cannot read normal text, right? Whenever I get a textbook, there are two ways I can read, either by Braille or using my screen reader to a screen reading software in my laptop to help. But when I get a hard copy like that, the only thing that I could do is to scan the whole book myself and use some software to help convert it. Yeah, it takes a long time comparing to other teachers when preparing a lesson, but I'm now getting used to doing that. After that, after I know the content, I will find out, search for related materials, and also create it myself, like using PowerPoint presentation or some other activities, like sometimes search for video as well. Then I also note something down in Braille, and this also includes student name list so that I can check their attendance during the class. Here, as you can see, there are two groups of students in different grade levels. I try to vary the activities so that it responds to each classes. For homework, especially in writing assignments, I often use a comment features in Microsoft Word to help give them comments. And sometimes I use the Google Quiz to help especially during like some short exercise like this. And the Google quiz can save my time a bit because, as you know, in Thailand, there are lots of students in each class, for 30 to 40 students. And in some year, I teach 8 to 10 classes. So I need to find various kinds of methods so that I could finish things on time, as well as helping students to learn. This is an example of student work with my comments, and I asked her permission already. For the classroom management, it is important that I remember their name. So during the first class, I often let them record their voice to introduce themselves so that I can listen to them. Actually, it did not help much, but when we teach them a lot, when we engage with them, I will be able to recognize them. I also use questions to help promote student thinking, because another benefit of using question is I can say it not only help me check whether students understand the lesson, but it also help me know whether students are studying with me or doing something else. Also, I think it is really important for me to support students both inside and outside classes. Sometimes I consider students like a whole person. So, and I feel that they are like someone in my family. So they are happy to talk with me, anything. And sometimes they feel stressed. Sometimes they would like to ask me about further education. And I'm really happy to help them. For my teaching techniques, I often survey student interest during the beginning of the semester so that I can use some of them to help plan my teaching. And then I know that many students fear of using English. So I decided to create the positive learning environment, making the a warm atmosphere, and let students try to learn new things, like to learn from their mistakes as well. After each semester, I often let students give me feedback on my teaching, because I realized that a good teacher should develop themselves all the time. Here, as many students are in the class are mixed ability, so I often use some jigsaw activities like collaboration so that they help each other, and it can promote student engagement more as well. In this video, I let students work in group and search for the topic related to the dining etiquette, and they really enjoy this kind of lesson. I also do some extra teaching, like helping them outside classes. I feel like teaching is like my hobby right now. So it's okay whenever they need me to help with things, I'm often be there for them. I also do some other duties like other teachers in the school. I would like to thank the school as well, because I am often assigned to do something that I can do. Like here, I help with the school morning program, training students to podcast about news in English. And the other one in the photo here, I am assigned to be with other teachers to look after the students. It's like the gate duty, something like that. After 3 years, my story have been known to the public until I received 2 of the greatest awards. One was the letter of appreciation from the king, and the other was Hero Obek from the Office of the Basic Education Commission, which made me really proud of that. However, receiving those awards does not guarantee that everything is good, does not guarantee that I can stop improving myself now. Because when the COVID situation came, I need to adjust my teaching to the online as well. And I learned a lot from online teaching, remote teaching as well. I know that the more knowledge I have, the more opportunity I can develop my students. So last 2 years, I applied it for the Fulbright scholarship, and I was able to get this scholarship to study in my master degree. This is the picture of the of Portland State University, which I visited last December. I just completed my first year here. Here I show a picture of a Braille map to raise an awareness a bit. As you see, I realized that if all the opportunities are provided, if a good support is provided, I'm sure that all students can learn and develop in their own way. And this includes students with disabilities as well. You might wonder, how can you support students with disabilities? Well, it first comes from teacher awareness. And I would like to say that each student is unique. So in order for teacher to know how we can support them, is to ask them, survey their needs, work with them, their parents, or sometimes specialists, or sometimes other teachers as well. I think collaboration is the key.
1 minute to wrap up your presentation for the first round. Sorry.
Okay. I think collaboration is the key to help us as a teacher to help develop our students. For my final thought here, I would like to thank all the opportunities that come into my life. All the person who support me, including my parents, teachers, professors. Thank Fulbright Thailand as well. And all the school, especially Satri Sri Suryo Thai School, and importantly, my lovely student. For one thing, no matter how many awards I receive, what will keep inspire me to do my work is seeing student growth and success. Thank you.
Well, I would say that is really inspiring, Mr. Damkeng. I think you truly deserve His Majesty's letter of appreciation, the King of Thailand. Fantastic. I think one thing that we want to take away from here, from your presentation, is that challenges are always there. It's how we look at the challenges and create initiatives that will not hinder education for our learners. Fantastic. Thank you again, Mr. Damkeng. We'll come back to you in round 2. So, ladies and gentlemen, our final panelist is Mr. Samuel Isaiah from Malaysia. He obtained his academic qualification in Malaysia. Samuel Isaiah is a passionate and driven educator and leader that strives to bridge the gap between theory and practice by challenging the status quo and leading collaborative changes. His expertise stems from a combination of pedagogy and its execution, a critical grasp of data and research literature, as well as efficiency in planning and execution. Samuel, who was serving in a rural school, has been active in collaborative efforts between multiple organizations and is no stranger to local and international conferences and seminars. He believes that his prowess and achievement stems from effective linking and translating frameworks, policies, and leadership in relevance to culture, context, and society. He has received numerous awards, and one of them includes being named as the top 10 finalists of the prestigious Global Teacher Prize 2020. Currently, he is pursuing his MA under the illustrious Fulbright Scholarship. Ladies and gentlemen, for your information, Mr. Samuel is not able to be with us in person, but not to worry, we have a video clip of him sharing with us his experiences and his stories. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, with great pleasure, Mr. Samuel Isaiah from Malaysia.
Hello everyone, my name is Samuel Isaiah. First of all, I would like to thank the moderator for the humbling introduction, and I would also like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this Asia TFL Professional Network webinar series. It is indeed an absolute honor and absolute privilege to be here today to share with you and to share the stage with other amazing panelists, other amazing educators and academics. As much as I look forward to share with all of you what I think, my ideas through my presentation, I also look forward to hear and learn from the other panelists and also from our audience today. My presentation today will basically be about my experience as a teacher in a rural indigenous school. On top of that, I will add on values and things that I've learned throughout the years from my active involvement, collaborating with multiple organizations, collaborating with different communities, collaborating with teachers across Malaysia, and try to come up with 4 key points that I hope that you will resonate with. So here is my presentation. The first thing that I've learned throughout my experience as an educator, pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, is to draw on diverse viewpoints, particularly indigenous knowledge and practices. In my time as an educator, I realized that what I know was not enough. What I knew about learning, my principles about education and how to reach out to my students was not enough if I did not draw on the differences that we had. So I actively engaged with the community that I was teaching with. I actively engaged with community of teachers. I actively seeked evidence and research. And when I've done this, when I've drawn on diverse viewpoints, particularly indigenous knowledge and practices, I find that it promotes values of diversity and inclusion. This implies that whatever that I was doing with my students, that whatever I was doing with the community was not from Samuel to them, but it was done with them. It's something that we came up with together, and that creates autonomy, which eventually leads towards sustainability. We should also move beyond trickle-down approaches to a more organic bottom-up perspective. I know a lot of times this term has probably been overused. This bottom-up perspective has been overused. But I think that the bottom-up perspective, the bottom-up ideology can only be effective if there is active collaboration, if that we draw from diverse viewpoints. If we look at our locality, we look at the community that we are serving, we look at the students that learn from us and with us, and take into their perspectives, take their perspectives seriously and include them in the decision making. My second point is transdisciplinary learning. I think throughout my years, initially I was trained. I'm trained to be an English language teacher, and initially I viewed it solely from teaching a language, solely from the perspective of teaching the English language. But as soon as I learned from my community, as soon as I connected with the individuals around me, I realized that that was not the only way to do it. I had to explore various concepts. I had to include different ideas, different theories, different research, different sorts of evidence to define the issue, to define the problem that my students were facing. And that led me to include aspects of music, that led me to include aspects of eco-learning or incorporating nature into my students' learning as well. And I believe that the integration of multiple disciplines to connect new knowledge and deeper understanding to real-life experiences makes the whole learning experience more meaningful than we can ever intend it to be. take a moment and reflect. Is the learning experience that you're providing your students meaningful to them or not? Does it bring them on a journey to connect knowledge, to connect deeper understanding to their culture, to their livelihoods, to the things that they do at home? I think this is something that we really need to reconsider, especially with the pandemic. Because with the pandemic, we have realized that learning has often become a one-way thing. We should seek to actually foster better relationships to ensure that transdisciplinary learning takes the center stage of what we are doing, to ensure engagement from our students, to ensure engagement from the parents, and engagement from teachers around us as well. My third point would be pedagogy and learning environments. You see, designing teaching and learning in an interactive, learner-centered way that enables exploratory, action-oriented, and transformative learning maximizes whatever tools you have, whatever pedagogical perspectives that you are bringing. If you don't design teaching and learning to address these aspects, your learners will lose interest. The students will not want to engage. And this encourages us to rethink our learning environments, be it physical as well as online, to inspire, to really inspire our learners. Because we are seeing these days when learners are not inspired, when our students are not inspired, they may be online, they may be connected to Zoom, they may be connected to whatever that you give them, but are they really engaging with what you're telling them to do? This is what we need to consider. Point number 4. One of the best things that I think we can do during the pandemic is to re-examine, to re-emphasize the role of teachers and school leaders. I believe that there must be more emphasis that teachers and school leaders play a crucial role in constructing knowledge with their students. Not to their students, not for their students, but with their students. We must not be complacent as mere information deliverers. Gone are the days where school is the only source of education for students. Gone are the days where teachers come into a classroom and students come and sit in the classroom. It doesn't work that way anymore. And that is why we need to emphasize on communicating this role better to other stakeholders. We need to let them know that they play a crucial part as well, and that our role is to co-construct knowledge, to co-construct learning with the students, and then they will understand. If not, the expectations are going to be different. Parents are going to be expecting something else from teachers. Students are going to be expecting something else from their schools. Leaders are going to be expecting something contradictory to what teachers are doing. So we need to see eye to eye. We need to understand that we are co-constructors of knowledge and not mere information deliverers. We also need to look at the role of teachers and school students. This relationship between teachers and school students should not be merely about someone that's giving and the other party receiving. Yes, the students are receiver and producers of information. They are also agents of change. I think this is one of the best time that we can use for our students to get them to have more autonomy in their learning. They need to be able to relate what they are learning to the real world, design solutions for problems that they see, and be actively involved in that process. They need to see a bigger purpose to what they are learning in school. So instead of just being receivers and being seen as just to produce information when asked, students must be looked at. We must promote, we must communicate this idea that students are also, and crucially, they are agents of change. That's all from me, everyone. Thank you so much for listening and participating throughout my sharing. I look forward to listen to the other presenters, to the other panel members, and I also look forward to engaging more with all of you in the near future. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Samuel Isaiah. That was fantastic. Even though you are not with us, I think your spirit is with us. The spirit of a teacher, a spirit of an educationist. We are always here together. Yeah, I think one of the key points, I think it's deconstruction, reconstruction, and co-construction. So deconstruct, reconstruct, and co-construct learning and teaching. So that's a very key point that we need to really get to understand. Well, we have come to the end of our round one. Now it's going to be quite exciting in the round two, because we have question and answers, and then we move towards to the later part where we're going to hear some fantastic, amazing parting lines from our speakers. Okay, let's look at the question. All right, we have already got a question here, and our three speakers who are here, all right, who are with us. I will kind of share these questions because the participants have specifically directed the questions to, okay, the first question to Mr. Sang Chedan. Yeah, Mr. Chung, he says, if you don't use syllabus, all right, Mr. Chung Chedan, you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes. If you don't use
I can hear you, doctor.
Yeah, if you don't use syllabus, it means that you have your own goals. How will students and parents react, and how you make the engagement, yeah, here is written here, I'm reading directly, among you, students and parents to achieve learning? That is a very interesting question, Mr.
Okay, yes. Thank you, doctor, and thank you so much for this question. Is an interesting and a good question. So I used to ask myself that if I don't follow the syllabus, can I achieve my objective? Can I make my student learn better or grow my student better? Yeah, I can improve my students. I can see my students' achievement. Actually, even though I don't follow the syllabus, but I had talked to my principals about the reason why I don't follow the syllabus. But actually, in my areas, like we don't have the reaction from the community yet, because like most of the family have to go away from home for getting money. You know, they go to neighboring countries, they go to capital cities sometimes. They don't care about their children as well. That is very hard. That is hard, you know, the big problem as an English teacher, as you know, every teacher in my school. Yeah, because in our school is in the province. So yeah, that is the mistake that our, you know, relevant people or stakeholders, sometimes they, you know, you will lack of motivation from family as well. But even though I don't follow the syllabus, you know, I have other books, you know, outside the textbooks, and I can create the lesson for my student as well. So no matter how I use a syllabus or not, but I can see my students' achievement. As I told you, that if I follow the syllabus, I can finish the syllabus, I can finish the books, but my student do nothing, my student learn nothing. So which one do you choose? If it's in your situation, so how can you choose it? You choose the syllabus or you choose the student's achievement. But I'm pretty sure that my students, I can see my students' achievement. Yes. When they go, you know, high grade, and I encourage them for continuing learning English as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I thank you. So I hope that my
Thank you.
question,
Thank you,
my
Mr.
answer
Lam.
responds to your
Very-
question. Okay.
Yeah, very good answer. I think the syllabus is merely a guide. Yeah, it's not written in rock, it's written in sand. So the teacher or the educator needs to look at it and reconstruct it to the needs of the learners. Thank you. The second question. So Miss Alina, you have a question. Yeah, it says
Okay.
here. Okay, Miss Alina, can you tell us the kinds of projects you did with your students and how you improve these projects as time goes on?
Of course, we have many projects, but the most important for me, for my students, well, I told you about the project Peaceful Days Around the World. It is already 10 or maybe 11 years at our school. And first of all, it was just a school project. After that, it became the regional one, and some students from different schools joined us. And in 2017, we have decided that all teachers and students around the world can join us. We made a special site, and I can share this site with you. And we invite teachers and students to join us during all September. Of course, about sustainable development goals, and especially 16 and 17, I mean peace and I mean collaboration, we speak around the year, the school year. But anyway, all September at our school is peaceful. We have many different activities, and we speak about this problem not only from this from the point of view of adult. We speak about this problem from the point of view of student, of child. How can child changes the place around him or her? How can he do that peacefully, to be tolerated, to be respectful for other nationalities, just to care and to help each other? Also, we have the project about World Book and about book of Russia. I told about it, and my students suppose that it's pretty nice to travel around the world staying in the classroom. So we invite every teacher in our classroom, especially during Skype-a-phone, Global Learning Connection, during different lessons. I suppose that for students, for teenagers, it is very important to see how the teenagers of other countries live, which problems they have. And when they see that we are the same, we are equal, they have a great impact. And for me, it's very important to spread this idea to teachers in my country, in Russia, and around the world. I can't hear you.
Thank you, Miss Alina. The point is noted. Now we have a third question for Mr. Damkeng from Thailand. Mr. Damkeng?
Yes.
Now, yeah, I mean, as you mentioned just now about challenges, you know, physical challenges and things like that. So it says here, what do you think we can do? What do you think we can do and help our students to continue collaborating and sharing with all the people in the world that will bring them beyond themselves, especially during this pandemic? So it is during this pandemic context, what do you think we can do to help our students to continue collaborating and sharing with people of the world? That's the question.
Okay. Thank you for this wonderful question. Interesting. I think one way to help promote collaboration between students is I see an importance of interaction. Here, maybe students may help each other in terms of using the online platform to communicate, to help each other, to support each other. And I think both academic and in terms of other things, because yeah, and maybe a teacher may create some group activities, maybe in terms of how can I say, in terms of like a platform that students can share their ideas on their collaboration to new things, new content, something like that.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Mr. Duncan. So we have 3 questions. We have lots of questions. All right. But we always understand that time is always a constraint for webinars. So we are going to move quickly to round 2. So in this round 2, all the 3 speakers will be given 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes to share their views on this. Okay, the 3 speakers are going to look at this. Yeah, this is the statement or question. Your plans in teaching and training as the pandemic has not subsided yet. And what is your advice as a piece of motivation to inspire all the teachers, educators, and educationists out there in the world? All right. So your plans in teaching and training in the pandemic, and what is your advice to motivate these people, motivate all the educationists in the whole world? So we start with Mr. Sang Chae-dan.
Okay, thank you, Doctor, for inviting me for the first speaker of the last panelist. Okay, so even though COVID-19 has been killing a lot of people, millions of people in the world, but sometimes COVID-19 opened opportunity for teachers, especially in my country, because my country is a developing country. So before COVID-19 pandemic, we didn't know something about technology because we use face-to-face classroom, but it's easier for teachers because we have been training at pedagogical center for teaching face-to-face. But actually, internet access is not available in Cambodia as well. So teachers lack technology, but COVID-19 can open opportunity for them to learn technology in education. So as a teacher, I have to keep learning from technology because technology has a lot of things to learn, not only just sharing screen, like it's not Zoom, not just Google Meet, but we have a lot of things to learn. Like we can create video for dropping for students to learn at home because we have a blended classroom, we have flipped classroom. So we create a video teach e-learning for our students to learn at home, and we can create a project.
Yes.
Project works for our students. And for the participants, for the teachers from all over the world, is that we have to do continuous professional development, because professional development is very important for being a teacher, because if we don't learn, we don't have anything to teach. So learning is very important for being a teacher. So and one more thing, I would like all the participants or teachers around the world just like teach a student with compassionate, and the compassion will be spread in the world that we are the world, we are the member of the world. So when the compassion or love is spread into the world, so we will have no war. We will have no the bad people or scandal people for creating something like this or like that to destroy the world. So, and another thing, collaboration is very important as well, that we are here together for listening, for learning, for sharing ideas, for sharing experience about being a teacher. But we can keep collaborating with each other. I in Cambodia, I collaborate in teacher in Thailand, in Malaysia, in ASEAN community, or in Europe, or East or Western Asia, like that. We can collaborate, and then we can share, continue sharing idea, continue sharing about the professional development with each other. And then we are the agents of the change. We can change the world with a peace. We can change the world with the wonderful education for new generation to generation.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. This is all from my side.
Fantastic, Mr. Chae-dan. We are the world. Let's sing together at the end of our webinar. We are the world, we are the resource. Why? We are educationists. Educationists are the chosen ones. We are the world. We make the change. Okay, Miss Elena, to you now, the same statement or question mentioned earlier.
Okay. Well, as for me, I started to use technologies long before the COVID, and I suppose I would continue anyway, because I understand that the technologies, some social medias and so on, they help to develop our students' knowledge and develop themselves. As for me as a teacher, of course, I would continue to develop my skills and to help other teachers to communicate, to collaborate, to help them. And as for society, I suppose it's rather important to unite everyone, to make us stronger, and we can do more if we are together. As for the inspiring thing, I want to say one very important phrase for me. Well, no, I am not a superhero. I am sometimes even more powerful. I am a teacher. I don't need a cope because I am lifted up by the amazing and inspiring kids I teach. I think that it's very important to be a change maker and add hero. All teachers are change makers. Just be yourself. Just develop yourself and be the example to follow for students, because you are responsible for our future. You are responsible for the future of our children.
Fantastic. I tell you that now I can stand and sit and or stand and say, I'm a teacher and look up there. All right, I'm a teacher and look up there. We are proud to be teachers, right? Okay, Mr. Damkeng now. Mr. Damkeng, your your parting words, yes.
For me, I think that although teachers cannot buy new technologies, new mobile phone or some tools for them, for students, one thing we can do is to be flexible on lesson planning. There are various kinds of methods that teacher can deliver, not only using online. Sometimes we can use, we can send materials to students, recorded videos for them. And this, I think this one is also the key. Also, I think that sometimes students learn a lot. As a teacher, we need to find which one is the key point that student need to get. So that we can let them study in something necessary for them, like the most crucial part, something like that. And I know that it is challenging, and both teachers and students are tired of during this pandemic. But as a teacher, if we don't do our job, if we don't support the students, who will do this kind of job? Thinking of a tree, if we plant a tree, it takes time. Teaching our students and seeing them develop takes time as well. Yes. And yes, it's our duty to do our best and to develop ourselves, learn to try new teaching ideas, and I'm sure it will help.
Yeah, thank you. Since the fourth speaker is not around, let me share with you our take-home points from all our speakers today. An important message as our take-off point is that in this pandemic, we can still prevail. All right? It's an opportunity to do research or whatever you want to do, and we can still prevail. And teaching is a noble profession. And we are the unsung heroes, or maybe we say we will be the sung heroes. No more unsung. We are going to be the sung heroes. And our passion, inspiration are the ingredients for motivation and aspiration. Yeah. Education is not about teaching facts, but more of teaching learners how to live extraordinary lives. And one point here, I think Liverpool fans will be very happy. You'll never walk alone. Because as teachers, educationists, or educators, you will never walk alone. We will all work together. So this is another example. That's why Asia TEFL Professional Network is the great platform. We network, we keep ourselves together, and we get together and move on. So this platform about Asia TEFL Professional Network is very crucial for all of us. Spread the news, spread the good news. We are all together in this, yeah? And remember that we have to remain resilient and plow through the adversities to achieve success and excellence in education. No worries. It's all about hard work. There's no shortcut. So we have a social, professional obligation to our learners, our institution, to our country, and to the citizens of the world. With that, teacher autonomy, student autonomy, we educationists will prevail and prosper. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep the networking going on through our Asia TEFL Professional Network, and remember that we are all in it together. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's our greatest pleasure to say a huge thank you to our 4 amazing, excellent, award-winning teachers for their valuable insights regarding transformation through passion and inspiration. Passion and inspiration. And with it, once again, thank you very much from me, the moderator. And now I will pass the session back to our great MC, Mr. Lukman Mai. And I want to say thank you to all participants also. And thank you all, the best, and stay safe. Thank you. Lukman?
Hello, hi there.
Yeah, to
Yes,
you now.
yes, thank you, Dr. Etchi Aslam Khan, for doing such a great job as the moderator of today. And also great thanks to our speakers for your wonderful time, your presentation and your contribution today. Without you, this webinar wouldn't have happened. And of course, thanks to our participants who got engaged with this webinar. I've seen lots of compliments in the chat room, and I've seen lots of questions as well. So yes, even though we can't answer all of the questions, but at least we could hear some ideas from our speakers today. So thank you very much indeed. Just so you know that, just a quick reminder that our webinar is not finished yet. And then in terms of the e-certificates, we will let you know all about that soon. But before we go on that, I just want to take this opportunity to introduce our Asia TEFL Professional Network Committee members who work behind the webinar series 2021. Let's see who there are. The first is a Professor Prakasit Sititikun. Choi Sun-yu. Dr. Savika Varapon, Fiona Sadagopon, Kitipat Juti Chai Virat, Nur Hazrin Anwar, Kitichai Nilubon, Professor Hik Young Lee, Dr. H.C. Aslam Khan, our moderator, Banbir Kaur Sekun, Dr. Zaira Abu Hassan Shari, Grace Chang Seo Yang, and me, Lukman. Datin Dr. Raja Muslin Aziz, Dr. Ali Ahmed Salman. And yes, these are 15 committee members from Malaysia, South Korea, and Thailand who have worked together to ensure webinar series 2021 are conducted successfully. And now let me introduce you briefly to what happens next in September. We have decided to run the 4th webinar on Saturday, 18 September, under the theme Transcending the Frontier of English Language Education, Assessment and Evaluation in the New Normal. This is the theme, and we will let you know again who the speakers are and all other details related to it. So please get in touch and visit our website at www.asiatafl.org or our Facebook page, Asia TOEFL Association, for more updated details. Right, so it comes to the end, and of course, it's something that we are quite excited about, which is the e-certification. So now, as I informed you earlier, that we are happy to issue an e-certificate to all of you who have been attending this webinar. So as you can see on the screen here, you can use your device to click on the link on the screen, or you can actually scan the QR code to access the e-form. So it's nice and easy, and it's not difficult to do that. And but there is one thing that we are, wanting to tell you is the e-form is now open for you to do this, but it will stay only 15 minutes. So please, please, please complete it now. We are here with you to answer your questions about e-certificates if you have one. I'm going to try to do that for myself as well, as I want to. So it's quite exciting to have one. So you just scan it. Yeah, and then you just put your full name and your email, just that bit. I can actually show it on here. You can just put your name and your email very, very quickly. But just so you know that our certificate is computer generated based on what you have put your details in. So please be sure that you write down your name and your email address clearly, because we will not be reissuing your e-certificates in case of spelling errors. So please double check your name and your email before sending it to us. So that would be great. But and yeah, I just want to be sure that you will receive your e-certificate soon. You can check your email once again. But yeah, but just to be sure again that you should write down your name and your email address clearly. And then it's just the 15 minutes window. So please, if you could do it now, that would be really appreciated. That would be great. Yeah. So if you have any questions, you can ask us in the chat room. We can try to answer the questions as we can. And once again, we will have the 4th webinar coming up in September 18. So please follow our Facebook page, and also you can visit our website at www.asiatafl.org. You can also, if you plan to be part of us, being a member of Asia TOEFL with a lot of benefits, as our Vice President has told you at the beginning. So you can also look at the details on that website, or if you have problems, you can also email us on as well. Yeah. So if you have any questions at this stage, you can also ask us. If you have problems about that, the registration for this e-certificate, you can also let us know. But thank you very much once again. This could be the end of it because of the time being. For those who have done the completion of the form, well done indeed. You will receive your e-certificate soon. And of course, on behalf of the Asia TOEFL Professional Network Committee, we would like to say thank you, everyone, once again for your participation. We'd like to thank you, our speakers, Ms. Alina, Mr. Duncan, hello to you, and then Mr. Samuel and Mr. Sang for your time. I know that it's Saturday, isn't it? So then, you know, it's our time to enjoy our break actually, but you have with us, and also our participants today, we reached 500 participants today, so that would be a really achievement, and would love to hear all of you again on September 18. So yes, if you don't have any questions for the moment, our team will be hanging around here for questions about e-certificates. But if not, then I'll leave you to it. So hope to see you in the 4th webinar in September. And in the meantime, please stay safe and well and enjoy your weekends. And bye for now. Take care and all the best.